Hoarder Gamer, and today we have our guest, CapStormBreaker, and this is an interview for the League of Valiants. Hello, everybody, and hello, Cap.
Hello, hello.
And how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm within adequate, running type.
Okay, that's good. It's a good place to be.
So I have some questions for you
Oh
because
boy.
otherwise it'd be a very boring and silent hour.
Right, we just kind of like stare at the
Yeah,
cameras,
it'd be a
look into
staring
my
contest.
eyes.
And it'd be funny because it's virtual, so like I could be looking at the camera or something else. You could think I was looking directly at you. So
Right?
yeah, like I could have some fun there. So I gotta start out with a very serious question, a
Okay.
deathly serious question. Okay, deathly Hallows type question right here. So
Okay,
serious.
I'm ready.
Okay, does the existence of Captain Stormbreaker mean there's also an Admiral Stormbreaker?
Yes.
It
But don't tell
does.
anyone I told you. It's a
Okay, I
secret.
I thought there might be. I didn't know, if it was a whole navy of stormbreakers. I wasn't sure, but I wanted to find out. These are things that the people want to know.
Right.
People being me. Okay. Now, here's a fun question for you that I ask everybody, and everyone has a different answer. And it's
Okay.
usually I can't, well, sometimes I can't use it if the person isn't in this group of people. But so now I've set it up for you, made you really excited to know what it is, right? This question.
Right.
Okay,
Right. I'm
cool,
ready.
cool.
I'm on the edge of my
What
seat.
what changes would you make to Marvel's Avengers?
Oh boy. How long do we have?
As much time as you need.
Let's see. I would love for after patch 2.3, I love how it kind of like it feels refreshing to play with the addition of like you can go do villain sectors, vaults are now there. Um the biggest thing I would change is like more versatility in the missions. Like don't have us feel like we're doing the same mission over and over again, kind of like move them. I love that they showed more love to the future wastelands. We got more
Yes,
missions there, which is fantastic because I love that biome. So
me
it's
too.
refreshing to have more missions go there, and then more patches like that. And the biggest thing that I would change is like communication, just kind of letting us know, like, hey, we do have things coming out. Like, this is what we're working on. Like, just a little bit. Not, it'll be out soon. It's like if I see the word soon one more time, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, it was like Game of Thrones with the dragons. Like they're coming, they're
Yes,
gonna be amazing. Just wait, they're coming.
right.
Yeah, it was a lot like that. Are you looking forward to hopefully the patrol still coming in? Do you think that's happening still, or
Yes, I'm
okay?
very excited for the patrol. I think it's still happening. The way I think they have it set up, just kind of like my theory and what I've heard like other people talk about is like they drop like a patch 2.3, let us play it for a month, and then they start talking about what the next patch is. So
You
hopefully I'm thinking at the end of this month, hopefully we'll hear something new that's going to be coming.
Now, do you think it's gonna be a very short roadmap, like 3 months, 6 months? What do you think we're even gonna get a roadmap?
I think the roadmap is going to coincide with what Marvel, like the MCU, is putting out. So I think
Oh,
it'll be a shorter roadmap that way kind of
okay.
fits that timeline. I don't think we talked about like She-Hulk obviously coming, but the She-Hulk series doesn't start until like August, I believe was the nearest rumor.
Yeah,
So I think the next like decent amount of content won't be until then almost maybe.
yeah. February, I believe, was when the new comic book series started, which is actually really good.
Oh,
Um,
fantastic.
yeah, I like it a lot. I had no idea who the Jack of Hearts was, and I'm learning about the Jack of Hearts, so that's pretty
Yes.
interesting. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. And they just announced that I believe the Dan Slott She-Hulk omnibus getting a reprint for September, I believe. So I'm
Ooh.
happy about that because what
Ooh.
happened was just almost unheard of. It came
Right.
out in like October of 2019, I think it was, or yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it like no 20 maybe 2020. I apologize, 2020. And it just completely sold out within like a month. And it's like, oh my god, it's selling for like hundreds of dollars. It doesn't make any
Right.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, I was upset about that because I really wanted to read it, and Dan Slott's doing a bang up job on Fantastic Four right now.
Oh, with the Reckoning War, it's fantastic.
Yes, yes. And I love his balance of ultra serious, oh my God, we're all gonna die, and comedy. It's so
Yes.
good.
Like, you gotta have that with, like, especially the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, the Wedding of Doom, that was great. Yeah,
Yes, it was.
that's right around where I jumped on because I was like, I heard it's really good. I'll give it another
Mhm.
chance. And yeah, it was phenomenal. I've been getting it every month now.
Yep.
Have you seen Moon Knight yet?
Yes, and I absolutely love it.
I like it a lot. I mean, it's definitely doing a lot of things differently than the comic book does. But
Mhm.
I do feel that the elements that are there are so well done. Like Oscar Isaac is amazing.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
F. Murray Abraham. Some people don't know this. F. Murray Abraham is Khonshu. That he's an amazing actor. One of my
Mhm.
favorites, actually.
Oh,
First
okay.
movie I saw him in was I was only like what 8 years old or something 1984 because I was born in 76 and he was in Amadeus.
Okay.
He's Salieri and then like he's in Homeland, he's in like every damn thing, but just
Yeah.
people don't know him and by name usually they just
Yep.
oh it's him.
Oh, it's him, yeah, he does these roles.
And I love
But
his
no.
name too because like absolutely no disrespect to him, I think he's awesome, but I think when like people are upset or something they could be like F Murray Abraham, because they're upset. His name becomes something very fun, you know. It's
Right?
a very interesting thing.
Right? It's a nice little play on words that you can do. But
Yeah, it
no,
is. It
I
is.
had to look up who the voice actor was for Khonshu just because he was doing it so well
I
and, like,
know.
portraying it, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. So what games are you looking forward to this year?
This year, I'm excited for, let's see, Suicide Squad, whenever that may drop. Definitely gonna be picking that up and playing that even though I am CapStormBreaker, but I'm gonna be hopping over to the DC side a little bit.
That's fine.
Um
We'll allow it. We'll allow
Right?
it.
Thank you, thank you. Forspoken looks absolutely
I
incredible.
hope it is. I'm a little worried about that one after seeing previews, but I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
Right, I'm staying optimistic with it. The traversal and the graphics all look absolutely incredible, and that looks like a game that's just I can visually get lost in.
It's also awesome too because it's very rare to have a game where the lead is a person of color. That's very rare.
Yes.
And so this is really cool, really refreshing. One of the
Hmm.
last games I played like that was Remember Me, which was this really cool science fiction um, memory type, working with past memories type of game
Okay.
that came out, and it just never really took off. It was a sleeper, but yeah, that was a really good game, and you don't get a lot of games like that.
Oh yeah, Midnight Suns. Definitely got to be excited for Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Midnight Suns as well. I'm hoping we get a release date soon because I was
Yes.
thinking they were just pushing it 2 or 3 months back, but now it looks like much further. You
My
know?
and that's kind of a trend that we're seeing is games are like, okay, we're releasing it here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add 6 months to that release date.
Yeah. Did we say
I,
then? Let's add
right,
6 months to a year.
right.
But
It's
you
like
see what
it'll be
happens
coming
when
out.
games don't do that. Cyberpunk.
So yeah, Cyberpunk is like the main example.
Cyberpunk needed another, I would say, 6 months, and then it would have launched in a much, much better state. It probably would have still had some bugs and issues, but my God, it would not have, been taken off the PlayStation Store. Like, there's all these things that were crazy that happened with that game.
Yeah, and it's nice to see like they've continually made changes, they've worked on it, and people are going back and playing it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was like $5 this week. I don't know if that's still going on though.
Oh
Maybe it's
wow.
over now. But yeah, I luckily had it from the PS4, and I just believed, yes, they're gonna fix it. The PS5 version will be coming out. But now I'm in the midst of Tiny Tina and Star
Oh my
Wars
gosh.
Lego. So as I like to say right now in gaming, it's an embarrassment of riches. But like, yeah, it's those games are awesome. I'm a huge. Have you tried
Yes.
any of those two yet?
Tiny Tina's.
I love it.
is
One thing
fantastic.
are you at Endgame yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so not to spoil anything, this isn't story based or anything,
Okay.
but the end game has something called the Chaos Chamber, and every time you
Yes.
play it, it's different. Different tile sets, different enemies, different enemy lineups. Each time is different. I really wish Avengers had something like that.
Ooh, that would be nice.
When
Like, just
Avengers
a little,
first
like,
came out,
change.
yeah,
Mhm.
so when Avengers first came out, I suggested something like the greater rifts in Diablo, because those are constantly changing and they're very
Okay.
addictive to do. And then they had the harm room. So I'm like, okay, this ultra shifting room could have different enemies, different tile
Mhm.
sets. No. Like kinda, they did for the
Right.
Red Room event, they
The Red
showed
Room,
that that kind
they
of thing
showed
can
it.
be done, but they haven't really utilized it in a very awesome way that they
Right.
could, and it's
You have,
set
like,
right there in the
the
story, you
yeah,
know?
you have, like, the custom harm room now that you can just put in a whole bunch of enemies so you can, like, test out different builds and whatnot,
But you
but
don't get
nothing to, like,
anything for it,
change
though.
the yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more like a challenge to yourself. It's like, "I did well in this game, but I get nothing
Right.
for it." And then you hang your head in shame. Okay, maybe not shame, but you hang your head a bit
Right,
disappointed, a mite
right.
disappointed, you know?
Yeah, there you go. But no, Tiny Tina's is one of those games that I'm definitely getting lost in. I love the it's a good mix of Borderlands and D&D.
What class are you playing?
I started off with a spell shot and then did a Graveborn, so now my
Oh,
class is Deadshot, and
oh,
I love that
cool.
name. Yeah.
That name is awesome. That's great. I am a Claw Striker, so it's a Stabomancer with a
Okay.
Clawbringer.
Oh, nice. I feel like
Yeah, and
Clawbringer is probably the most popular class 'cause I see everyone with the wyvern
yes,
as a
everyone
big
likes the
selling point.
Wyvern a lot.
Mhm.
And then like for the Stabomancer, I'm going with the stealth build. So like
Ooh,
I like to sneak up on enemies. And what's amazing about the stealth build here with melee or range, so guns or like swords or whatever, you're
right.
able to get insane critical hit damage on the enemy without them seeing you. And it
Ooh.
wasn't like that, I believe, in Borderlands 2, because with Zero, as soon as you attacked, you were revealed. And you had
Yeah.
to wait till the final moment to get your hit for the most damage. So that was
Okay.
challenging, but it was a
Hmm.
little frustrating and made you feel glass cannony.
Right. That kinda sounds almost like a more of a D&D aspect because, like, it's like a stealth attack in D&D you get
Yeah,
to
like
add.
backstab. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? There might possibly be a D&D based question somewhere in this list. I don't know. It's
Oh.
it's possible, it's possible. I don't know though, you
You
know.
don't know, right?
Who would know these things, Who knows these things?
Right.
So, what piece of media, film, music, or TV show currently has you captivated?
Ooh. Um, I'm gonna have to go with probably Moon Knight has me the
Mm,
most captivated just because when he was announced, not a lot of people knew about him, but I have always been a fan of Moon Knight. Like I went back and read like the old school comics, the newer comics, the current run that they are on that they just dropped the 10th issue, which
yes,
that run has been amazing.
Jed McKay is awesome, and he is who
Yes.
got me into Moon Knight. Yeah, so
Oh,
I knew
okay.
the show was coming, and I was like, I want to check this out. And then I found out that Jed McKay is kind of like the new Dottie Cates or new L. Ewing, like one of the best writers
Yes.
at Marvel. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, let's check this out. So from there, I also checked out the Infinity Gem or Infinity Stone story arc with Black Cat, also Jed
Oh, that
McKay.
was so good.
Yes, it's like these
So
ideas
good.
he has are so good, and it's like unlike Jonathan Hickman, the concepts seem very simple, but then
Hmm.
like they become amazing and just so well done.
Right. It's like a simple idea, but the amount of like depth and detail they go into is just fantastic.
What runs of Moon Knight would you recommend? If I like the whole like creatures of the night and vampire part of it.
Ooh, the creatures I that I would have to go back and look because I'm more interested in Moon Knight and like fighting with all of his personalities.
Oh yeah, well that's
So
all. Oh,
like
see, I kind of thought they would all be entangled. I didn't know. Okay.
It's a little entangled, but they also kind of like keep it apart because when they do entangle, it does feel like a bit much. And so
Ah.
for me, like I'll get a little bit like I'll start to lose like focus and like lose track of what is happening exactly.
Ooh, okay. So, like, what runs would you recommend? Like, what artists or writers?
I'd have to look up the specific writer of it, but there was a New Egypt run
Okay.
where Moon Knight is fighting with coming to the realization that all of his personalities exist and he's also Moon Knight.
Oh, okay. That's
So it's very
wild.
similar to what we're seeing in like the show, not to give too many spoilers away, but
Sure, sure.
so that's what really had me excited.
Yeah, I checked out too because in the McKay run so far that there's no Arthur Harrow. So then I looked up Arthur Harrow, and basically he's an amalgam of like three or four different characters. So
Mhm.
that was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. And then of course we've got Doctor Strange coming out very soon,
Yes, that should be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I got
which
tickets. I'll be seeing it the
yep,
premiere day.
yep, same. Which I've been watching the trailers over and over again, like sitting this close to the screen, just like looking for anything. It's like, come on, tell me something. Tell me something.
Yeah, shout out to Xbox Live Mike for picking up tickets. I'll be going with him and a couple of our
Nice.
friends, so I'm looking forward to that. He's really good at knowing when like the premiere tickets are going on sale and stuff, so
Hmm.
it's nice. Let's see here. For me, I would say I always like to mention, yeah, Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight's awesome. I very much like
Hmm.
that. Um, the newest season of Marvelous Miss Maisel. A lot of people are surprised when I mention that show, but I really
Okay.
like the rapid fire dialogue. I
Yeah.
also like the whole 1950s, 1960s vibe, and Rachel
Okay.
Brosnahan is just awesome. So
Hmm.
yeah, I do like that quite a bit. Now, here we go. Here's the question. Here we
Oh,
go.
here we go.
What made you interested in Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, it was actually I have to give credit to TikTok for that. Because, like, I was just scrolling through and I saw somebody play, I was like, "What is this? Like, this is weird," and I kept, like kept popping up on my For You page, and then I kinda started checking out Critical Role and, like, watching them, and I was like, I don't really understand what's happening, but the story and, like, everything that they're telling and describing, it's like, I could get lost in this,
Yeah, yeah,
and so
Critical
that's
Role's neat. I do like that show a lot.
yeah.
I don't watch it enough because like I'm always like, well, I missed so much of it, I don't know what to see. But I guess you can just sort of just pop in here and there, hopefully.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you missed an episode, just never watch again. That's no.
Right. Well, that's why, like, they put all their episodes on YouTube, and that's what I usually watch them on, is I just, like, play a little bit, pause it, and come back because obviously I can't sit for. I wish I could sit for 4 hours and just lose myself in their story, but and it's so good the amount of like storytelling and really just creating their own little fantasy world, living in these characters, and if essentially you're playing a video game where you are the writer of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's awesome, and it's really great for creativity,
Hmm.
and it's just this fun, exciting thing. I was in a Spelljammer campaign for about 2 years. I
Okay.
like that a lot. And if anyone doesn't know, that's Dungeons and Dragons, but it's like the almost the outer space version where you're like
Ooh.
in a giant ship, like a boat, but it's also
Right.
got like a bubble around it, and like you're basically at the helm and you're flying it around. And the dungeon master we were playing with absolutely loved Illithids, also known as mind flayers,
Yep.
and those are pretty nasty creatures.
Yeah.
They like to get into your mind and either drive you crazy. I think they eat brains if I recall. I'm trying to
Oh yeah,
remember
they
now.
do. They
Yeah,
can.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was interesting. It was like 2 years, and then before that, I did World of Darkness, and I
Okay.
was a
Nice.
vampire. I was a demon, but like not an evil demon, just a demon. And
Right.
it was a lot of fun. I really liked World of Darkness, and that
Hmm.
stuff's coming back now. But you have to be damn near rich to get the physical books because each
Right.
book is like 150 or I think like $200 if you want the
Oh
hardcover book.
wow.
Yeah. So they at least have it where it's affordable if you just want like printed, like you
Hmm.
get the PDF file and you print it off. That's
Yeah.
affordable. That's like 15, $20, I think, or something like
Okay,
that.
that's good.
Maybe 30. But like yeah, if you want the hardcover books like we used to have, it's like, oh my
Yep.
God, they're limited run and incredibly expensive.
Uh,
I'm shocked that
Yeah.
like no big company got the rights, right? And then like made them a little bit more affordable. I mean, I know they're not going to be 30 anymore. I'm guessing they'd be like 60 or something, but
Yeah. Like
yeah.
a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. But are you looking forward to have you played any of the World of Darkness stuff at all?
I have not. I have to.
Okay.
I've
Cuz it's
heard about it
really
and I've seen it.
it's a crazy time to be a fan because there's like three games coming out. There's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which I believe now is next year, I think. There's
Okay.
Blood Hunt, which is a battle royale with vampiric powers and the different vampiric clans. So that's going to be cool, free to play. And then they just announced
Sold.
Swan Song, which is like a story based, like a Telltale game with
Yeah.
vampires. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
nuts. Yeah, it's
Okay.
really
I
crazy.
have to check these out. I have to check these out.
I know it's insane. I was like, really? There's three games? Oh, Stranger
Right.
Things introduced Dave Body, also known as Hero Mentor, into D&D.
Yep. That's pretty
That makes
popular as
sense. I,
well.
I can see how that would be a gateway.
Hmm.
Definitely, they even released a Stranger's Thing D&D like expansion or something. I
Yeah,
know.
they did. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and one with Rick and Morty too, right? I think.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
That that one's
Well, yeah, sure. But I think it's neat that it did that, and it, again, a gateway to other people checking out D&D.
Right, absolutely. It's very much not so much as like when it first started, it's like all these nerds gathering in a basement to play like Dungeons and Dragons. Now it's like it's more popular and almost like being a nerd is more socially acceptable nowadays almost.
Yes, yes. And then
And
like
it's like
also
I
bridging
love
the
it.
gap between nerd and like every other subculture too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It is. It is. We're not getting put into lockers as much anymore.
Not as much.
Yeah, every now and then I like to have that feeling again, having somebody
Right.
shove me in a locker. I always want them to, come and get me like 15, 20 minutes later because you have to use the restroom or something. But yeah.
Right. I would like to take my bathroom break. Hello, please let
Yes,
me out.
please. Mr. or Mrs. Bully, can you please let me out? Thank you. Okay, so everyone else is. So I have to ask, are you doing this as well? Did you end up trying out Fortnite? I saw a tweet that said you were thinking of ending up
Oh,
trying it out.
this is me officially announcing I did try it out and
Oh
I
my
do love it.
god. Oh
I
my
love it.
god. Okay.
The no builds is amazing. It feels like a shooter, and plus there's so many like Marvel skins and DC skins and how they almost come out with like a new skin every week it feels like.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty insane the amount of skins that come out, and then there's rumors like apparently some people are saying like TV skins are coming, and the people are hoping for like TMNT or something like that, or 80s
Ooh.
skins, and some of
Okay.
based around TV. So I
Right.
could totally see Michael Knight from Knight Rider.
Oh, that'd
I
be
it,
sweet.
yeah, I could totally see that. That'd be pretty neat.
Right.
Who doesn't want Hasselhoff in their game?
I mean, they have cars in there. What if they put Kit in there as well?
That's true. That could be like the flyer. Well, it'd be interesting to see visually how they would do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you and I were what they call comic book aficionados.
Yes.
So do you pick up your comics at an LCS for people that don't know, local comic book shop or store, or digitally?
An LCS. I get
Oh,
all
awesome! Me
physical.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Shout out to Lost World of Wonders here in Wisconsin. Excellent shop.
mhm.
Is yours like jack of all trades? They have like everything because this one has like anime statues, horror figures, and stuff.
Oh,
Everything.
yep. Yep. They're like
Awesome.
D&D minis. They've got anime. They've yeah, everything.
Awesome. Yeah, another one I like is Collector's Edge, but they just do not have, the same amount. It's not like going into a miniature mall of like, nerd culture. They're
Right.
great for comics though, but like, they just don't have the kind of space to have everything else.
Right. Like I've got one that's pretty close. It's like a smaller shop that just has like comic books and like a few other things. And then there's one that's about like 30 minutes away from me that if I want to go to and spend like an hour or so in just 'cause I get lost with everything they have. It's crazy.
I found out we're quite lucky. Some people are like hours away from an LCS. Like I have
Yes.
one that's about 10 to 15 minutes away, and it's one of the best I'd say in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I feel very lucky to be near one and not have to like read all digital comics. So there's just something about like having the physical comic in your hands. It's
I know.
amazing.
And we're gonna get some haters here, but I gotta ask you a serious question.
Yep.
Would you pay about a quarter more if they upgraded the paper quality for Marvel Comics?
Um yeah, probably would.
Yeah, I would too.
Yep.
Like I've almost I like their covers to me. It's not
Yep.
quite as bad as Vellum, but I swear to God, if your hands like sweat absolutely all at all, it's
At
like you're going to
all.
destroy the cover. Like at
Yes.
one point, I kid you not, I was wearing plastic gloves to read Marvel Comics, and it's an
Same.
issue I haven't had with DC because it's like to use a slightly thicker quality paper or something.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like you go to the comic book store, you grab your comics, you look like you're playing hot potato with them because you don't want to touch them for too long to get like any sweat or anything on them.
Yes, and like I'll have the DC books on the outsides because I know
Like
those
a
aren't going to be
sandwich.
damaged. Yes, yes. I don't want to have that Marvel book on the outside. I don't want to damage the cover. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Oh man. And isn't Wednesday like a mini Christmas each week?
It is. It's amazing. Like you just go in and you just see like all the little signs. Like my comic book store, they put signs on all the new ones. It's
Oh,
just
that's
new, new, new,
awesome.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a new release wall they have at mine. And ooh, have you had a weird issue recently where like Marvel books or DC books will show up and not the others?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that's
Hmm.
been a thing that's been maybe nationwide then,
Yeah,
okay.
that's yeah, nationwide. They're having issues with like shipping and printing enough.
And, not to drive you crazy about your LCS, but
Mhm.
is your LCS doing 2 release days, or are they just doing Wednesdays?
Just Wednesdays.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, as far as I know, most of them are just because the staffing is difficult to have that many people for 2 days as opposed
Hmm.
to 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, my store only has the one guy working at it.
Oh wow, yeah. So DC books come out on Tuesdays, everybody, and Marvels come out on Wednesdays, because there was this insane rift right around COVID where DC didn't want to play with previews or that whole thing. They have their
Hmm.
own catalog. It's really weird. It's not the best customer focused thing. I'll say that right
Right.
now. You look at previews online and they're like DC books, sign in and do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else though is just at your fingertips, like
Yep.
Boom Studios, Dark Horse, Image, all that, Marvel, of
Mhm.
course. Yeah. Let's see here. So, what comics are you currently reading, and what comics would you recommend to me and the viewers?
All right. The comics I would recommend, it just ended. They released the 15th issue, and I did not realize it was the end, so I had a bit of a sad moment. But the Black Widow with Kelly Thompson
Okay.
writing, she is an amazing writer. She did some of the Amazing Spider-Man Beyond tie-in
Yes.
too.
Yes.
She
She's
wrote
part of the
that.
Beyond writers. Yeah.
Um, but and she does Captain Marvel as well right now. But the Black Widow run was just amazing. The I have to look up how to say the artist's name because I don't want to mispronounce it. But they just
Sure.
did fantastic work, and the coloring and the story they were telling, absolutely fantastic. So 15 issue run, definitely worth checking out. Um, Devil's Reign also just ended. I feel like everything just ended.
Yeah,
Devil's
yeah.
Reign just
Issue 6 just came out, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm way
But
behind, unfortunately, in Devil's Reign, but I mean, if you're a fan of Kingpin, Daredevil, any of those characters, definitely check
yeah,
that out.
and then like the little tie-ins they have, I want to give credit to the Devil's Reign, the Moon Knight tie-in, because it was just one issue, but the way they showed off Moon Knight and portrayed him and showed how he would just like the amount of planning and thought that went into like his brain and everything. Absolutely fantastic written.
Do you know if that was
And
Jed McKay?
I don't believe it was.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out then, because
Yeah.
for me, just like being, an old man, 45, I've come to the point where I realize that when they have the big giants, not miniseries or whatever you call the
Mhm.
events,
Yeah.
that to focus on the books I normally read, and then like the main book of the event. For me, I'm able
Yeah.
to understand the story that way. Now, for if you decide to get everything, you're just seeing everything else, but through other people's eyes. It's not like a
Yes.
lot of massive, massive reveals. One thing I did notice, though, between Venom and the King in Black series,
Mhm.
Venom will learn something before another character does. So
Yeah.
depending on what you're reading, it's like, oh, this person knew that already. So that kind of stuff is really cool. But
Yeah.
my God, if it's like 20 books, that gets really expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, so I always recommend, like, for King in Black, I got the King in Black series, which I think was 5 or 6 issues, and then it might have been five, and then there was, the Venom book, the main Venom book.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, the Venom story was just fantastic.
oh, I loved Donny Cates's run. I got to tell
Yes,
you,
he did amazing work.
this is going to upset a lot of people, but I won't say my friend's name, but my friend said something that I agree with, and he says it for a few different superheroes. He felt that Venom was a great outfit in search of a character. That was his feeling on
Ooh.
Venom. Uh,
Okay.
no, no, don't hate me. I'm sorry. This isn't, but I do see where he's coming from with it. And
Right.
Donny Cates did so much with the character and did
So
so much
much.
with the mythology and everything else. Because at first it honestly seemed like, when Venom shows up, he looks amazing, but he's like, I'm a super like strong weightlifter guy. I hate Spider-Man. I want to eat his brain. It seemed very kind of limited, in the beginning. But then everyone branched out and made it a lot more interesting. And the Donny Cates just took it to me at least anyway, to the next level.
Yeah. Like you said, the mythology and the story and like the history of not just Venom but of symbiotes altogether was absolutely fantastic.
My God, Donny Cates blew my mind when I mean, this is a bit of a spoiler, everybody, but it's very early on in the Venom run. Um, you find out that Null, the god of the symbiotes, basically is the one that created Nowhere, separated the
Yeah.
head off that Eternal, and that head was in Nowhere. That was insane. I was reading it and I was like, oh my God, what has Donny Cates just done?
Right? It's like you have to like go back and like make sure you didn't like miss a page or something. It's like, wait, what just happened?
Yes, and then also too, I have the whole Grant Morrison fear. Grant Morrison did an amazing, mind-blowing, insane run of X-Men, including a character named Zorn.
Okay.
Zorn. And what happened? Do you know the whole Zorn situation?
I do not.
Okay. I guess I could spoil it. It's been like 15 years.
Yeah.
So the
That fits like
entire
the
book
parameters.
The entire book is all about this professor, not professor, but a teacher at the Xavier School named Zorn. And he's this really nice mutant. And he has these interesting powers. And he always wears a metal mask. Okay.
Yep.
And there's this guy, Quentin Quire. He's one of the students. And he starts an uprising. And his whole uprising is all around the idea that Magneto was right. So, like, he has this
Oh.
uprising going on and everything. Grant Morrison is writing this.
Mhm.
Well, you find out there never was a Zorn. Zorn was Magneto. And when you look
Oh.
back at the issue, Quentin Quire at the uprising, he's basically taken down and he's like dying on his deathbed. Zorn takes his mask off. Only Quentin can see him and the look on Quentin's face. So they knew right there and then what they were doing, and it was mind blowing. The
Oh, that's
problem
so
is
cool.
no other Marvel writer that took over after Grant knew what to do, and they retconned everything. Yeah, so that was upsetting. But yeah, the
Yeah.
whole Zorn story arc was mind blowing. That's a great run, by the way. And
Okay, I'll check that out.
then it does a 2001 type of crazy thing where it jumps all the way into the future with
Yeah.
Beast as a villain.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, it is
I like
absolutely
that.
insane. Grant Morrison's run. Wow, so that's what really got me back into X-Men actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. So do you
yeah.
ever get I guess I'm gonna mix it up. Do you ever get nervous when you see like writers change?
Yes, but sometimes it is like a time to celebrate because two of my favorite books recently are Venom and Immortal Hulk. And
Yes, and when
L.
they
Ewing,
switched.
yes, yeah. So
Yes.
L. Ewing and Ram V took over the Venom book, and
Venom
then Donny Cates took over
moved over
Hulk,
to
and now Hulk is absolutely insane.
yeah,
It's
so
Starship
good.
Hulk, and it's basically like Bruce Banner is aboard the Starship Enterprise, except it's really not. He's in Hulk's mind, controlling him using
Right.
past stimuli and like the difficult things Hulk has gone through to have control over him. Like it's
Yes.
absolutely insane. It's so hard to even explain it, but it's really good.
Yes. Like that I love the fact that they just like switch the writers like, oh, I have to jump into Hulk now. Like I want to read all the Hulk comics after this.
What got you into L. Ewing? For me, it was Rocket. Did you read Rocket?
I did not.
I
No.
highly recommend it. So it's like a 1930s, 1940s noir in outer space. Like this great detective type story, really
Okay.
well done. And where it gets crazy is it's not just told in comic book format. At times, some pages are told in prose, and it's 6 issues, and it's absolutely great.
Okay.
Yeah, I highly recommend Rocket.
Okay.
In fact, I read the 6th issue, and I was like, "This is so good! I look forward to the next story arc." Oh, that was the last issue. Okay, I
It's
love
always
when they
sad
do
when
that.
like it when it ends and you're like you weren't expecting the ending. It's like, wait, the end? No, no, continue, please.
I know it was very much like that, and then like Marvel was being at times. Let's be honest, Marvel can be just a little bit shady and not saying when a book is over, or give you like yeah,
Yes.
they'll just be like, oh, we'll leave them hanging. They'll find out soon enough. Yeah,
Right.
but like yeah, I had no idea. I'm asking people at comic book shops. Is Rocket still going? Is there a new volume coming? Is it on hiatus? And they're like,
Hmm.
oh, that was the last issue. I'm like, I, I see.
No one told me.
I know, no one told me.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I should have. I would have liked to have gotten that memo. That would have been nice. So, do you also collect? Well, I guess you do. I see some Funko Pops there.
I do,
Are you a
yes.
fan of the Marvel Legends, the Hot Toys? What are you into collecting?
Um, I'm interested in them. I haven't collected any yet, but the Funkos definitely I go for.
Well, I like them because like they're really good sculpts and they're
Hmm.
affordable. Like Hot
Yeah.
Toys are amazing, but oh my God, it's like every
Oh,
year they
so
ratchet the
expensive.
price up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was debating getting the Batman because that's an awesome piece, and I think they
Hmm.
still had the limited version at Sideshow Collectibles.
Yeah.
But like, God, that's expensive. And when you get a Hot Toys, it's like, okay, that's my Hot Toys for probably a year or two.
For
It's
the
like,
year, yeah.
yeah, make your decision as to which one you want. Uh,
Right.
they just showed Moon Knight, and that looks absolutely amazing.
Oh
And I
my
think if it
gosh.
had an Oscar Isaac head, I may have made the jump actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like a lot of them will have that alternate head, and they decided
Yep.
not to go that route, and I guess that's because of the complexity of like the hood and all that, and like what looks like the
Yes.
bandages. But it does have LEDs for the eyes, which is crazy.
Ooh, okay, I
Yeah,
kinda like that. I'll have to check that
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I
That's
didn't know
pretty
it was LED
awesome.
eyes.
Yeah, but I think that's I want to say like 250 or 260 or something. But yeah, depending on the one
Oh,
you get, I want to say Thanos is like 350 because
yeah,
he's
they're
also 14 inches
ridiculous.
tall, not 12 inches. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Mezco less expensive, not quite as much detail, of course.
Mhm.
Try to think who else I would say. NECA is really especially good with the horror movie game. Oh, I'm sorry, the horror movie action figures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One thing that upsets me though is NECA never did an Us series. I really wanted figures from the movie Us. I have the Funko Pops, but not the actual figures because they haven't made
Okay.
any as I know
Yeah, I'm too much of
of.
a chicken to do any of the scary stuff.
Oh, I love the horror ones. I got this really awesome Chucky that I absolutely love from
Oh,
NECA. Oh,
nope.
Chucky's great. Oh, so you're not watching
Oh,
Chucky? That's a good
no.
series.
Ah,
Oh, he's not gonna hurt you. He's just Chucky.
oh, the name still gives me like a chill. It's like the Lion King whenever they say Mufasa and the hyenas like shiver.
Yeah, I can't read or watch Hellraiser. So I love horror
Okay.
movies, but Hellraiser I can't watch. It's something very visceral, something very primal about that movie.
Yeah.
I'm not big on skinless people. Uh, like there's just so much there that like triggers me in a bad way. I'm like, I
Yes.
don't think I can watch this ever again. Yeah. I mean, I give it props because I find it absolutely terrifying, but
Right.
yeah. And then Candyman, that was based, I believe, also on something that Clive Barker did, and that I love. I love Candyman.
Okay.
Even like the new one was really awesome too.
Yeah, I heard good things about it.
So, because we are sponsored by Unsinkable, I
Mhm.
didn't forget the name there for a second, everybody. Not at all. Not
Not
at
at
all.
all.
No,
No.
because we're
It's
sponsored by
building suspense.
Unsinkable. We have the Unsinkable moment every week. Cap, was there a time this week where things were difficult or you had something you had to try to get through and you were able to make it through, but it took you a little bit, something of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, this past week I've kind of taken a step back, a break from streaming and like content creating for just a little bit because it was very taxing. It's grueling to have to like you get in like this grind mindset. Like if I don't go live today, like I'm gonna lose 15 followers. No one's gonna sub. I'm gonna have like only myself watching stream next time I go, and it was very taxing. I wasn't like sleeping. I wasn't eating right,
Mm,
and I really needed to like force myself. Like, hey, I need to take a break. I need to reevaluate, rethink, and recharge myself, like mentally, physically, and step away and know that when I do come back, the people that want to support me will still be there. Everyone will still come by. It's not like, "Oh, he's not live today. I guess I'm just gonna unfollow, unsub, like, forget about him." And it's
yeah.
one of those this week's been very refreshing, very freeing, and just to be able to sit down and play video games and, like I still do the little commentary because I'm so used to it now, but to enjoy them just for me is amazing.
Yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Like, I had a moment this current week, but then also too, like what you said with taking a break and everything.
Mhm.
I was a I what I mainly focused on was Disney Infinity and Skylanders. So I
Oh,
streamed those for
good.
like a couple years. So you can imagine when that kind of all fell apart and there wasn't any more, content or anything coming out and they
Mhm.
canceled it, it was hard to move from that and I never quite got back to the same viewership or anything. But I'm still happy that I'm playing games that I enjoy. But
Right.
yeah, when I left, well, I haven't. Okay, I'll have to say this carefully. I never fully left Marvel's Avengers. I'm basically seeing other games.
Yes.
Um,
We're in an
but
open relationship.
yes, open relationship. Uh, but yeah, definitely there were a lot of viewers for that, and
Yes.
not quite as many for other games. But I
Mhm.
just realized that I couldn't continue playing it when, like what you said, um, it was like the same thing. You're waiting for
Yeah.
something new, and at least they have 2.3 that came out now, which
Mhm.
gave us some new content, which is really nice, and some
Yes.
great gear. Like Hulk has some
Oh,
amazing gear apparently now.
Hulk got a super buff from all the gear they dropped for him.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I'm actually going to probably start playing Hulk again, which is wild because that is one of my favorite Marvel characters, but I felt he was squishy.
Yes.
Hulk should not feel squishy.
No,
Hulk,
not at all.
if anyone should be a tank, it's Hulk.
It's Hulk.
Um, yeah, so I never quite understood that, but otherwise, I found his at least I will at least say like his punches and his melee attacks felt strong to me. So
Mhm.
I did like that, because that should be Hulk as well.
Right.
um, but yeah, recently this week, a bit of a wake up call and like I started working out really seriously about like last May. So ever since I got on
Okay.
depression meds in like 2021, I've been
Mhm.
hitting the gym 4 or 5 days a week,
Nice.
and trying to get into better shape. And one of the reasons is because I have an issue with my lower back called spondylosis,
Mhm.
and I'll have some really great days and everything, and I won't have any pain or anything like that. And then, like, I will have days where I have quite a bit of pain. Like to go to the gym and work out, I actually have to take a pain pill that does
Right.
make me a little bit drowsy. That was prescribed by my pain management specialist. So
Mhm.
I'm not I'm not self-medicating or anything like
Right.
that. Because his belief is for every 10 pounds you lose, well, I mean, it's not just his. He didn't make this up out of thin air.
Right.
Every 10 pounds you lose is 30 pounds to your back. So
Yes.
if you have an issue with extreme arthritis to your lower back, which is what my spondylosis is, losing weight is helpful for that. So
Mhm.
I'm happy about my progress and happy with everything there. But it's like I'll go with these times where there's absolutely no pain, and then I'll have pain, and it just
Right.
reminds me of like, okay, I unfortunately do have some limitations that I have to keep in mind.
Mhm.
I mean, I already have a number of them where if I'm doing dumbbell work, I put them on my walker. I have a seated walker, and I move them over to a bench. So like
Right.
I had to think of things that would facilitate my stuff. But yeah, it's just sort of like I just realized I have those limitations. I work with them
Mhm.
and not to be brought down by them.
Right. They're just obstacles you have to find a way to either jump over, move around, show off how you can adapt to them,
Yeah, yeah.
which is fantastic. Absolutely.
Let's see here. We just have a few more questions, and by few I mean 100. No,
Okay,
no.
perfect.
Let's see here. One of my favorite final questions to ask is well, no, this isn't final though, it's close to final.
Okay.
Um, what does a day in the life of Cap Stormbreaker look like? And I usually have this as one of the final questions towards the end because I kind of like to put the guest a little bit on the spot so it doesn't
Yep.
become a massive focus. So it kind of forces them to be like, oh, this, and this.
Okay. Uh, Normal day, if it's Thursday through Sunday, I work at a breakfast place. So I go cook breakfast until 2 or 3 o'clock, and
Cool.
then come home, start working on a little bit of like content. I'll do some editing, get ready for a stream if I have one. I live with my girlfriend and her kids, so make sure that they have dinner, make sure food's ready to go. Uh, Hop in here, go live, play some games, talking to my community, making sure I'm promoting what I need to be promoting and putting forth that positivity. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit. What
Okay.
does your Wednesday look like?
Wednesday. Oh, okay. I wake up very excited. Uh,
Like a kid at Christmas, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
I go and take a look at what comics are coming out that day. I make sure that I make a list, make sure that I know what to grab, and I get to the comic book store like about 10 minutes before they open. Um, I I don't do like the pre-holds. I like to like get there and just if they have it, I have it, like almost like a rush. So it's
Oh,
almost a
I can't put
mystery.
myself through
See,
that. Oh
yeah,
my
I do it. I
god.
do, yeah. I love that. So sometimes, like, there'll be a week where I miss out, so I have to be like, "Okay, well, next week, I need to make sure I grab it." Luckily, though,
Oh.
for the most part, I haven't really missed any yet.
Okay, well that's
Um,
good. That's good.
yeah, except for
Cuz
Devil's Reign X-Men issue number 2. Still can't get my hands on that one, but,
oh wow,
um,
okay.
yeah. Um, but no, I like the rush and almost the chance to not get something, like something that's so rare. It's like, ooh, it's like I want that even more now. So I get there 10 minutes before, and then as soon as he flips that on sign, I'm there and I'm going for him.
I put together a small package of hold comics ever since Punchline. So
Okay.
Punchline debuted in Batman, and yeah, everyone apparently knew, and that issue just flew off shelves. And I'm like, cool. I have this run of Batman for about 50, 60 issues, and I don't
Hmm.
have this one. That's great. I was able to get a second printing. But
Oh,
like
nice.
it's like, oh man, if anyone should have known, you would think the person getting, Batman every month would know this. But
Right.
yeah. And it was one of those ridiculous things too, where I believe that it's only one or two paddles of Punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then she's on the cover of the next issue. So
Nice.
yeah, so that was interesting. Yeah, my Wednesday, I don't get up super early, probably about 10:30. I
Okay.
saunter into the comic shop. I saunter in.
Ah.
So like I'm fashionably late. So I usually go after the gym. So like they open at noon and I probably get there about 3 or so.
Okay.
But like again, I cheat. I have some things on hold. So
Oh, okay.
there's always some cool little surprise or something though. Like I just got into, have you heard of Little Monsters?
I have not.
It's Steve Niles who did 30 Days of Night, a really good vampire book.
Okay.
And it's another interesting vampire book that reminds me of if you ever heard of Let the Right One In.
Yes.
Okay, so kid vampires in a post
Ooh.
apocalyptic world that's not explained. So they're just kids at play, and then, oops, all of a sudden they're ripping the heads off rats in the issue
Ooh.
one. Yeah,
Nice.
and they're like, "Uh-oh, we have to get back inside. The sun is coming up." It's like, oh,
Oh.
okay, little monsters.
Right.
But yeah, so issue two just came out, and that's been really
Okay.
cool.
I'll have to
Um,
check that out.
it's Image. It's an Image book,
Okay.
and let's see here, what else?
Make me
Did
spend
oh,
so much money at the comic book store now.
this is basically for my ego because I'm evil. I have to ask
Yeah.
this. Have you had a chance to check out my new comic book show yet?
I have not, not yet,
Okay,
no.
so I
I need
actually have
to.
Hoarder Flexes on Comics, and it's
Okay.
Wednesdays on YouTube. So
Okay. Got you.
it's on
I
the
will
Doom
definitely check
Squad
that out.
Gaming YouTube channel.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's been fun, and if I actually do literally flex on the comic that I review,
Okay.
and I review between one or two books, talk about toys and everything like that.
Oh yeah, I'll check that out.
Did you see the leaked picture, by the way, for the Love and Thunder action figures?
I have not. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not
Oh,
to.
okay.
It's
It's
very hard. I'm
I
tiptoeing.
understand. Okay,
It's
I
like
won't dis
walking through a minefield because there are so many leaked images and pictures. It's like, nope, don't.
Oh,
Ah,
see, I don't like to have things completely spoiled, but to see like the toys or something that I don't mind. So I have like
yeah.
kind of like a sliding scale of that kind of thing. I don't want
Okay.
someone to just be like this happens and that happens and just ruin it
Right.
completely for me. I like to tease people, and I guess I like to be teased when it comes to content like that. So
Okay.
yeah, like
You see, like once the trailer drops, I'll go back and like I'll look at all the toys and everything they've released. But until the trailer, I try to avoid it.
you know the rumor about the trailer release, right?
No.
Well, again, this won't be a big spoiler, but
Okay, no, you're fine.
supposedly at the end of Doctor Strange, just like what they did with like Spider-Man with
Oh, that's so long.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's the
that's
rumor,
kind of what I was
but isn't
thinking.
that crazy that they wait that long?
I mean, you also have to think because they're putting out like 4 shows a year now, 3 movies a year. We're
Yeah.
almost overloaded with Marvel content, which is perfectly fine. Please overload us. That you don't want to take away the hype from anything else that they're working on. So if they were to drop a Thor trailer, it would take hype away from Doctor Strange and Moon Knight. So that's why I kind of thought it's like I'm gonna have to wait until Doctor Strange to see this Thor: Love and Thunder trailer.
So right now I'm going to do something I haven't done before on this talk show, and that probably makes Hero really nervous to hear. But I'm going to pretend I'm going to the country, and we have to get some water, so we have to prime the pump. So
Okay.
right now I'm priming the pump, I want to see if anyone has any questions for you. So I'm busy priming the pump right now, and
Okay.
we're getting the questions going. And we just have one or two more questions for me as we see, this happening. It looks like I'm
Right.
playing piano. So at least it doesn't
Right.
look like I'm doing
Okay.
something like untoward. It looks like, yeah, it looks like I'm going all Liberace or something. Um, Van Cliburn, I don't know. Uh, let's see here. What was I going to say? We were talking about the Marvel stuff. Hmm. Oh, I apologize.
Ooh.
One Marvel Avengers question I had, and you brought this to mind when you brought up the shows and everything. Which
Yes.
character are you looking forward to more in the game, coming to the game, of the ones that are rumored that we know of? I put you on the
See,
spot. I didn't mean to. Wow.
no,
Okay,
no,
I
no,
didn't
you're
know.
good. You're good.
I have
Okay.
you in the lukewarm chair. The lukewarm chair.
Right. The one I'm most excited for, I think, and it's going to be a bit of a surprise because I know a lot of people would say like Captain Marvel or Jane Foster as like the mystery character. But the one I'm most excited for is She Hulk
Me too.
because I want to see what kind of story she brings, how she fits into the narrative, what differences she has with Hulk and how it's going to be more. They've kind of teased about her being more agile. I want to see and feel that agility because I'm a Black Widow main, even though I'm CapStormBreaker. I love Black Widow, and her traversal, her zip line, how she does feel extremely agile when she dodges. She's doing backflips and whatnot. So I want to see what they bring with She Hulk in that.
If you're a fan of Traversal, do you also play as Kate at all?
Uh, a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, because she's amazing when you get used to her traversal. Like Kate is one of my
Yes.
favorite characters to play as. So for me, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Kate, um,
Oh,
definitely
you go
Black Widow.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is a great experience to play as. I do feel bad though that it's not on Xbox or anything else. It should
Yeah.
be to me. That's too big
I've
of a
seen
character
it,
to
I mean
hold. You know.
yeah.
Um, let's see, Thor, Iron Man. So I mean, I like
Yep.
a lot of those characters. Right now, my focus though between Black Panther and Spider Man. But I was doing like Kate for a number of months. I was playing with her. So
Right. Kate's
yeah,
really good.
yeah, she is. She is really good. And as I mentioned before, Hulk has some really good gear now, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the She-Hulk show? Because one of the main reasons I'm looking forward to it is Tatiana Maslany is an amazing actress,
Oh,
so I think it's
amazing.
going to be really cool.
Incredible. Yes, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, did you
And
get a
I
chance?
hope that they tie in more of the Netflix heroes, like maybe put Daredevil in there or like throw those guys in.
I could totally see that. That would be great.
Mhm.
And then let's see, what was I gonna say? We were talking about She-Hulk. Oh yeah, Orphan Black. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Oh, so that's kind of like the big thing Tatiana Maslany got known for. It's this amazing
Okay.
science fiction series about clones. And the
Okay.
reason she got an Emmy is she's playing five or six, at least in the first season, clones,
Oh,
all
wow.
completely different.
Oh,
Different
okay.
mannerisms, different ways of talking, different accents, different dialects.
Ooh,
Yeah, absolutely amazing
that is
performance.
incredible.
Yeah, and then even more really exciting about that is that the director of that, I believe John Fawcett, did one of my favorite horror movies, a Canadian film called Ginger
Mhm.
Snaps,
Okay.
which is a really great coming of age tale about a teenage
Right.
girl and werewolves. It's really
Oh,
well done. It's very clever.
okay.
And then if you have a chance to check it out, HBO Max or HBO, Perry Mason. They did a remake of it, and Tatiana is amazing. It's only like 8 episodes, but yeah,
Okay.
she's phenomenal in that too.
Okay. Awesome.
I see we do have at least one question right now. Who
Yes.
cares? It's 2017, even though it's 2022. We talked about this. Okay. Okay. Who cares? Has Cav read the new X comics? If so, what is his take on the new things that have been happening, and where does he think they could take it in the future?
Okay, so X-Men. Because I do. I have the X-Men red right here.
I just read it. Yeah.
I haven't read that one yet, but as far as what they've been going through, they've kind of started to like lose me a little bit with this, with the Krakoa and the rebirth set they're going through. So they were starting to lose me, and then when they kind of uh spoiler, but they killed Cyclops and like he's Captain Krakoa now. It's a different version. It's like what's going on? What are you guys doing? Like it started to like really lose my interest, and now I guess the concept is that they're on Mars. So I'm very interested to see where they go with this, what they do. I don't like the fact that they're separating the mutants so far from everything else, though. That's like the biggest thing that I have against what they're running with is
Yeah,
that
I
it
think that's
almost
going to go
like they
somewhere
keep.
very interesting. I think they're doing that on
Yes.
there's a purpose to it, and I'm interested to see what that is.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it is. The X lives and X deaths of Wolverine, though. I absolutely loved that run
So, what do you think Abigail Brand's deal is right now?
with.
Are you that deep into it? She's been kind of squirrely, you could say.
Yeah, a little squirrely.
Yeah.
The X-Men series in a general is the one portion of Marvel where I never know where they're going. Cause like I'll think I'm like, oh, it's obvious they're going this way. Oh, we just took a left turn. Now we're going down this road. And with X-Men, they have so many stories and so many overlapping. Like you have X-Force, you have Sword, you have Nightcrawler and his story, which I love Nightcrawler. Besides Wolverine, my favorite X-Men. Um, so anything that he's in, I follow. We've got Sabretooth now, so it's very interesting to see how the stories overlap and where they go.
Yeah, X-Men Red is pretty wild. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I don't do that to people. Yeah, basically, some mutants ended up going to um, was it Mars, right?
Mars, I believe,
Yeah,
is yeah,
yeah. And they call it Araco or whatever. It's been called
yeah.
that before. That's not new.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and all we know without reading that book is that Magneto went there because we found that out in X Men Immortal. Did you have a chance to read that?
I have not read that one yet.
Oh
No.
my God, I highly recommend it. Get ready
Okay,
for a good time. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm
The
ready.
entire book is told to you as narrated by Mr. Sinister.
Ho, ho,
Yeah, right now
ho.
it's only issue 1. I don't know if that's how the entire run is gonna be, but,
Okay.
he's manipulating people. He's like, "I'm smarter than everyone in the room," like this
Oh,
great, great stuff, and in there you found out that Magneto was leaving the council, and going to Mars. So,
okay.
but yeah, oh my god, that
Okay,
book
I
was
need to go back and get
phenomenal.
that.
But see, that's the issue I have with the X books. For me, it's kind of like an event,
Yeah,
except it's the normal monthly book.
it's the
So
normal.
if you open up X Men Red, again, no spoilers, just talking about the
Hmm.
books that are in the series, it's 12 books a month. That's insane. Like, I can't afford that, like with
Right.
DC, everything else. Um, so I just get the base X Men book.
Okay.
I just got Marauders #1. Uh, Written by Steve Orlando, who I got to interview a month or two ago.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
that I'm looking forward to reading. I haven't read it yet, but I did have a chance to read X Men Red. There's that. I believe you said there's Sword. There's
Hmm.
God, didn't Excellence or something come out? There's another
Excellent. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Excellent
That's
came
another
out.
one.
So yeah, 12 X Men books, everybody.
It's so
So
hard to keep track of.
for me, I can only focus on like 2 or 3 a month. And luckily, if you're focusing on the flagship X Men book, that's going to be helpful. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Do we have any other questions for CapStormBreaker? Did you like the House of X, Powers of X story arc? I love the main Jonathan Hickman stuff.
That was it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Were you amazed that things actually made sense at the end and came together?
Yes.
I was
That
because I
amazed
never
me.
read anything about Jonathan Hickman except people say you got to read him. He's amazing. Got to read him. He's amazing. And
Right.
I'm reading this and I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. He's got so many balls in the air juggling. How is he gonna? and he
Right, how do
actually
they all come
to,
together?
to me he stuck the landing, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this actually works. It's like, whoa. Okay, I do not believe we have any more questions, but Cap, I want to thank you very much for joining us. It has been
Yep.
enlightening, and I hope you can join us again.
Yeah, this has been great.
We are planning something like to have like people we've interviewed to almost have like round tables. We weren't going to call it a round table, just kind of like a group conversation or something.
Okay.
So it won't be so much as like a big interview or anything. And
Right.
uh, and before we do it, we're just going to announce we're going to be rating JC Vice Zero. That's going to be
Nice.
happening. And before I let you go, Cap, I just wanted to have you a moment. Tell us what's going on in your stream, any events you have coming up. Let everyone know.
Right. Well, uh, taking this past week off, so Tuesday will be the big reveal. A lot of new stuff, a lot of new content coming.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome. Wow.
yeah, we're
Okay. I'm happy
we're
I
gonna be
asked that question.
right. We're gonna be trying something outside of what we've been doing. So it's
Wow.
not Marvel related or Avengers related. So we'll see, and I can't wait to roll it out and show it off.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. So Tuesday
Yeah.
is going to be that big reveal.
Yeah, Tuesday will be the big reveal, showcasing everything, talking about what the next steps are for the channel and the content, and then of course we've got D&D on Tuesdays.
Awesome. This might lead into it, so I don't know if I should ask this question. Is Marvel's Avengers still going to be part of it all?
It will be, but it might be taking a little bit of a seat in the
I
back.
understand. I
Yeah,
understand completely. I mean, it only makes sense, especially with like it's a lot different than if you play something or stream it like once a week. But if it's like
yeah,
4 or 5 days a week and there's not much to do, it's yeah,
yeah. It's like it's gonna take a seat in the back, and because you've got all these amazing games out with like Tiny Tina's that has my interest. Jumping back into like Halo with Halo Infinite, I've been playing that a bunch. So yeah,
Did you get
lots of
the
new things.
season pass for Tiny Tina?
I did,
I
yes.
did too because the Borderlands passes are usually worth getting, and
Oh
there's going to
yeah.
be story content, new character type drop, which will be awesome. That'll add like another 20,
Ooh,
30 hours to the game.
there we go.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'm at soft end game. I'm at 33, and technically, I think to be at end game, you have to be at 40, where you open up
Level 40.
Myth.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, Cap, thank you very much for joining us
Yeah. Thank
today,
you for having
and
me.
thank you to Hero Mentor, also known as David Body, for doing the behind the scenes work. Because
Right. Yep.
I wouldn't look and sound as good as I do now without him. Um, and Lightstream, thank you. But thank you, Unsinkable, and thank you, all viewers. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great one. We'll be back next week at 11 a.m. And yeah, have an awesome one, and see you later. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye bye.
I think that went well.
Yeah.
Why would I do? Did you like the what? As soon as what? I know that's what I said.
Right.
I bet Hero's all freaking out right now. But yeah, I like the idea of like when we get to the final few questions to prime the pump, and then like to see if we get the questions coming in. So that motivates people that are watching and just like up question answer question answer. They're
Yeah.
like now we're priming the pump.